This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is The Order of the Stone. It was written by Twing, Lynn Hardy, and Paul Fricker. It's available from Chaosium. Our keeper of arcane lore is Keith Craig, and this is episode 8. Our recap will be given by David Gassaway as his character, Manfred Clay. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. David?
Thank you, Tom. The madness into which Armitage has sent us continues to spiral out of all control. All of the information we found in Greyport led us to the small seaside home of Lucas Barnes, an associate of Professor Sebastian of the Miskatonic and supposed uncle of one of our problem students, a lad called Spill. Had we only collected the scattered papers there and read of them from a safe vantage. But no, we had to see what was in the old fruit cellar. Well, Barnes was in the cellar, hanged and bloated after his ritual murder over the arcane signs. At least, at that, he could have been alone. But the dead were down there with him, unclean dead. Still sea-soaked from death on the SS Champagne and swelling with rasping black tongues. The battle was swift and awful. Shooting the things did little to deter them, but the fire spell caused them pain, and it cost poor Goldie her looks and quite possibly her mind. Cavendish lost the flesh from one arm to the impossible tongues, and Harding, who was not bearing the mental strain, almost throttled the poor man. Up at the hospital in Gloucester, we left our fallen and picked up a straggler from the Irish Order of the Stone. We retrieved our things and repaired to Arkham, where we met Casey Hawk, another of Armitage's graduate students. Hopefully he'll be less fragile than poor Cavendish was. We went with him to Sebastian's office to poke about, to little avail, and then his home. He had a childhood photo of two lads from decades ago, and a more recent article about children dying at one Lake Chapactaw, and elsewhere, a family photo. Also, tinned peaches and some decent brandy. Our new young Irishman met up with his gang, and they think they've cobbled together a proper spell of binding for the damned things that have been unleashed. If I had a god, I'd pray that they were right.
All right. Excellent. Okay, so who stayed at the where the Order of the Stone was hiding out? I know William did, and I believed was it Bernie also that stayed there?
Sorry, I'm still trying to get this straight in my head. The hideout at the town where the murders were happening.
No. Oh, sorry. So no, the Order of the Stone, they've got a place there in Arkham also.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, totally.
Bernie, since you were the only non-local, you went.
Because otherwise I'd have to go back to Boston to stay at the harbor. Yes, that's correct. So I went with
Okay.
William to stay at
So,
the Flophouse in Arkham with the Stone, Order
Okay.
of the Stone.
all right. When you wake up, you smell a tasty Irish breakfast being made, and not the one made out of liquor and all, but
Beans and black pudding and
that's right.
mushrooms. Yeah.
Yep. And you hear some people talking downstairs, and if you come down, they look up and they smile at you, and Michelle's there, and she's like going, Well, we've got some breakfast made and all. We're planning on making some more containers just in case we are the other ones get broken.
Well, howdy, good morning, Michelle, everybody. I'll help myself to breakfast. Tell me more about these containers.
Oh
I'm
well,
piling on the plate, cups of coffee, big
oh,
tray.
she goes, well, according to these the scroll from our ancestors and all, you need to have something that you've prepared to store the creature in. You need three
Mhm.
of them, so because you want to break it apart and all. Tobias took the original three with a group of people with him, and we're making some more as a backup. And
Mhm.
think, it's like we got some pots that we bought at the local store. We're gonna enchant them. I mean, can't believe I'm saying that. A few months ago, I would have thought you were crazy to say I was actually casting a spell, but
Hey, I thought they sealed the monster in a pressure cooker out on the champagne. If that works, surely you can enchant a few pots and pans here.
yeah, I mean, as long as you can seal it so the lid doesn't come off and all, and we've got some. We're just planning to weld it down once we have it.
And so there was the one part buried under the champagne. Good morning, William. Hello, it's nice to see you.
Hey,
There's the
Bernie.
one buried in the champagne. Where are the other two parts?
I assume you guys mentioned that lake, and that's the
Hmm.
best lead we have where they could have went.
Okay.
Hmm. And I'm assuming that we think that the two parts will be there. It's
If not,
the best we can.
then the people that are trying to summon him will be there, and we can beat it out of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh, the fine mess we've gotten ourselves into here, but like you were saying, we're fulfilling something that our ancestors once had to do.
Yeah,
It's remarkable that it's actually real.
yeah. You can just imagine our grandfathers just hanging at thinking that the club was just a club to drink and talk. Hmm.
Hmm.
It's a hell of a situation when the crazy stories of the ancestors turn out to be too true. Got a hell of a mess on our hands here.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
should we meet the other folks, William, or what's the plan?
Yes, I've been staying up all night learning these damn spells. I think I've got them
Mm,
all memorized.
good.
Oh, good. That's good. The more that know it, the better and all. She's like going, well, we're gonna keep working on this. We'll have dinner at the normal time if you guys if you are hungry and all. Your friends are of course welcome and all. Well, two of them, they helped me out on the champagne.
First we'll
Yeah,
let
they
them
seem to
know.
be roped into this as much as we are. At this point, they seem to be quite the tenacious bunch, although I think it's wreaked some havoc on them mentally and physically.
Yeah, the two have been here since the beginning. Don't seem to be doing too well at all. They're barely holding it together.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm being honest, so am I.
I
Well, I
guess I'll
suppose
stand up.
we'll go meet up with them. I'm assuming at the professor's house. I'm assuming we're using that as like a staging ground. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Knock knock.
Yep. So you guys get over to the professor's house and were the other three there. I know that like Dr. Harding had went back to his place and all, but we'll say that you guys kind of organized unless you want to do something else to kind of meet back up at the professor's place.
Yeah, I think after um Yeah, after breakfast and reassuring the missus that everything is fine. Everything is just fine. Why are people so worried about me? I'm fine. Um,
Like, well,
I
you used to love your eggs with sardines, and now you said you didn't want me to cook it for you today.
yeah, it's a long story. I think that there are some unethical canning practices that are plaguing. Uh, it's too much to explain.
It's
But thank
okay,
you. But thank you. Thank you. Thank
Gregory.
you. The eggs
Hmm.
were lovely as always. Um, but unfortunately, that uh, there's still more business that needs to be done out of town. So I'll be leaving again here soon. Um,
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you won't be gone too long.
yeah, it should only be a few days, and then all this uh, traveling will be done, and we'll get back to the regular routine again.
Oh yeah, and remember you we talked about a month ago booking that cruise and all if you were still interested.
Yes, a cruise. Yes. Mm, yes, it should be lovely.
Oh, good, good, excellent. All right. So, Casey and Manfred, you guys are enjoying some coffee and
Well, yeah, I slept at home, so
mhm. Yeah.
I've shown up. Um, Whoever I'm having a conversation with, it's like, um, so you say that there's three gods or three parts to this deity thing, this monstrous force, uh, and we have to get them into the vessels to hold them there with magical seals or whatever that you need on it. Well, are we to assume that one of them is trapped at the bottom of the ocean? Or do you think that it could have gotten loose?
At this point, we really don't know. According to Manfred and Dr. Harding, um, two of the folks who were entombed with the thing ended up in Greyport in some sort of, I think the term is zombie state. So it could very well be that the one of the parts has escaped, and that's perhaps how they got back to America.
Well, I suppose the question is when you were on the champagne, did you find evidence of a shattered vessel, or could they have still have the vessel?
No, we were to understand that there were multiple urns that had left on the champagne, and we saw fragments of an urn in the ritual cabin, if you will. Uh, I don't know whether that means they brought intact urns on the lifeboat, but they might have had some kind of advance warning of what was going to occur on the vessel.
Because
Um,
it seems to me if this thing is supposed to have three parts, then they
mm,
can't succeed unless they have all three parts.
mm. Yes,
And
and something smashed through the Lucas Barnes phone boat, blasted its way out of the hull, and that's
Hmm.
presumably before they performed the ritual in his cellar using him as a sacrifice. So yeah, I think that somehow maybe the
is any
things, if they're not all contained properly, maybe they reconvene. So, supernatural is not really my strong suit.
I mean, if they could somehow turn into mist, then it might be pretty difficult to contain them in the first place. Um, they woke the thing up on the ship and then they left. So they didn't seem to take it with them.
No, it's about releasing them, not bearing them.
Containing them. Mhm.
And was the thing that you described down in the basement of the Barnes house, was that the second part?
Well, it was the
Was that
site of
just
a second ritual. It's possible that the two animated corpses each had one of the tripartite entity within them. Again, we associate these powerful black tentacle-like ribbons with the entities themselves.
Yeah.
Not that I think one of these things couldn't animate multiple of corpses. I mean, they could bring up a hell of a storm at sea out of nothing, of still skies.
Well, we're pretty sure that they were at least at some point contained and buried and stayed in that state for a long time. So they can be contained. Unless they were somehow tricked into being contained. You know, like at the end of Aladdin and the Genie.
Well, again, we have these sort of this. There's an image that can be reproduced that they cannot cross or touch. So the way that we cornered them on the champagne was by surrounding them with that and chanting.
I guess all we've got to go on is what they're telling us is the truth.
Yeah, if they were more competent, no offense, I would feel more confident about that, but their information is the best we've had so far.
Will, is there anything missing from your text? Do you know how to do you have the text that says how to perform the ritual?
The ritual of binding?
Of binding it all back together?
Yes, yeah, we have that ritual now. It sounds like from what Manfred is saying, our spells have worked so far. I'll try not to take that slight against the Irish.
It wasn't an ethnic thing by any means. It's just that you guys didn't know that you were doing anything seriously until hell broke loose.
It's true. It's true.
I think we should all sit down and memorize as much of that as we can. It could fall to any one of us to have to say the final magic word and wave the magic hand or whatever we have to do to get it.
Certainly can't survive. I can't assume all five of us will survive to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, you've already lost 2 people, 3 people, 4 people.
4.
Well, yeah, people on the show.
What are you going to do with it once it's in the canisters or containers?
We'll have to bury it like our ancestors did, perhaps this time
better
someplace someplace far out of sight and out of mind, and
maybe someplace that doesn't look archaeologically valuable. Maybe we
not write it down anywhere, because apparently the archaeologists, were drawn to that area.
How about considering sinking it in a block of cement and dropping it into the ocean?
I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe lead and then cement and then lead again.
Whatever won't be, I mean, maybe gold, but gold doesn't deteriorate in salt water.
Gold would make it lucrative.
Yeah, we don't want to make it shiny, I don't think. If some old standing stones will attract attention.
Well, we need to find these damn things and get them bound. We had been discussing an idea of perhaps finding out more information about this professor and his family. That was an idea. We could also just head directly to the lake. The order was going to create more urns or holding vessels for us by this evening if we want to wait in Arkham another day.
I'll walk
Guys
into
lead
the room
way,
where
I'll
this
follow.
conversation. I like the idea of visiting the professor's house. I think we should wait for the Order of the Stone to complete the vessels, and studying an overnight to learn the spell sounds like a good idea. And information is power.
Do the books say anything about timing? Is there a limit on how much time between activation, or that they're waiting for something like the full moon? Doesn't seem like it, does it?
Nope. Nope.
So they could be in the process of doing the ritual right now if they're up there.
Yeah, and we don't know why the good people of Greyport recovered their senses, but I think we don't want all three of these things combining.
So you're suggesting that we go there as quickly as possible?
Well, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just bear everything in mind. I'll follow whatever you guys want to do.
Macmillan, you have some vessels prepared, right?
Yes.
It could be the advanced team. We only need to start with 3.
How many vessels do I have, Keith?
You don't have any. The Order of the Stone had 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, in a way, I guess you have 3, but because you're part of the Order of the Stone. But yeah, you personally don't have any with you.
Okay.
This might sound a little like psychobabble, but I'm thinking that if we have rubber bands on our wrists, and if you feel yourself getting lost, snap the rubber band and maybe it'll bring you back to your senses, the pain. Because it does seem like these things can override your... People were killing each other in Greyport.
Yeah, I got pretty testy myself.
Some sort of psychological trick to snap you back into your head.
It seems like these creatures have some sort of effect on people in the vicinity, and apparently it's irreversible once it happens.
Oh, so the people in Greyport that committed the crimes, they're stark raving mad, locked up?
I don't know.
You don't know.
From what I've heard from the Champagne, the people on the ship were ripped to pieces by the ones who went indefinitely off the rocker.
Speaking of indefinitely off the rocker, has anyone seen Dr. Harding today? I hope he's all right.
He did look a little wild-eyed. Is he all right?
I thought we were meeting up in his house. Where has this conversation been happening?
I thought we were at the professor's house.
Oh, I thought the professor you meant was Dr. Harding.
No, Professor.
We're at Armitage's place.
Sebastian's.
Sebastian.
The place you broke into.
Oh.
That's where you guys were saying you were.
I didn't. Sorry, I missed something.
Yeah.
So we're in the sketchy anthropologist professor's house?
That's where I thought you met.
That's what I assumed.
This could be happening in my living room.
Yeah. He's upstairs just looking down the steps.
Because we did say our first thing was we're going to go to the professor. So
yeah, and so that's why I thought you guys were.
I thought you meant the professor that hired us in the first place.
And I thought
Armitage.
And I thought you meant the professor that was working with us. So I guess we'll be more specific about these academics.
All right. So let's say we were all talking while we were walking to Professor Harding's house.
There you go.
And we're knocking on the door.
Lovely Arkham, such a walkable little quaint port city.
No hills or anything. So
beautiful river.
All right.
Dr. Yes. Hello. Come in. Make yourselves comfortable.
What? How are you feeling, Dr. Harding?
Oh, I feel just fine, thank you.
Excellent.
And the kitchen door opens and you see Dr. Harding's wife. She's like going, I've got some extra sardines. Gregory didn't want any, so if anyone's interested, I've already opened the tin.
That's kind of you. I've already eaten this morning.
We had quite the large Irish breakfast, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Gregory, is there somewhere we can talk? Are you ready for an excursion?
I think so. I think I should be well enough for that.
How did you sleep?
Oh, I slept just fine. If you want that mole removed, I could take care of that for you.
What mole?
One that lives in
Never
your front
mind.
yard.
Did you say mole? I turned to William or whoever's seen it. Is that what he said, mole?
I believe so.
Huh.
We walk up to Bernie and we go.
Brutal.
I say keep an eye on that one. Kind of whispering that to Bernie.
Yeah. I I'll fall silent and be pensive for a moment.
I'm wondering, actually, if there's something I can do for Dr. Harding. Dr. Harding, do you believe in magic? Do you believe that magic works after some of the things you've seen?
Oh, of course. I mean, who would I be to deny my own personal experiences?
I'd like to try something. And between us all, I'm just bullshitting this. I'm using it as a placebo. But I'm going to try and go over to Gregory and touch the top of his head and start chanting some nonsense. And telling him that should, Om Mani Padme Om. And tell him that everything is going to be okay in the hopes that he finds focus. Whatever.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Harding or Casey, I'll let you give me a D100 roll.
He's going to chop my hand off and kill me. I got a 75.
Okay. Yeah. So going off the rules here. So, okay. So Dr. Harding, go ahead and recover 1d3 sanity and make a sanity roll.
I recovered 1 whole point.
Oh, yeah. That could be the vital one. And then make a sanity roll. If you're successful, you can erase your indefinite insanity. Oh,
that looks like a triple zero.
It was a 99.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you feel a little bit better, but not good enough to be like.
I'm gonna after he stops, I'm gonna lean into Manfred, and it's like, I don't know about this Hawk fellow. He seems to be a little, if you know what I mean.
I think we're running out of volunteers quickly. Good.
I could try another ritual where I just slap him and say, "Snap out of it."
It's a classic. So I thought it looked like a lovely day for a trip up to Lake Chapatcog. Anybody up for a picnic?
Are we going to go to the professors first and snoop around?
Back to the professors.
I think we already have Sebastian. We've already kind of ransacked the man's house. It didn't seem like there was really anything left there.
Certainly no decent brandy left.
All right, let's go up to the lake.
Yeah,
we have some vessels, and maybe we'll get lucky and stumble across our foes.
How big are these things? Do we need to take 2 vehicles?
They are the vessels that they're going to put it in. They're kind of like you know, what the size of a crock pot you would take to like a party would be. So
Hmm.
no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Those will fit in the trunk easily enough.
Hmm.
Of a vessel large enough for the five of us. The saloon we've been driving around, I suppose.
Are they made of clay? We should pack a blanket around them so that they don't clink against each other and break.
How eminently reasonable. Well, let's stop by the orders headquarters, and then we'll head on out.
Okay. All right. So when you get to the order's headquarters, Michelle and all of them are there. They greet you, and they're like, "Oh, Dr. Harding, Manfred, and Bernie, it's wonderful to see you again."
Yes,
Likewise.
I hope that your insides are feeling better.
Oh, that they are. Yes, it's good to be on dry land and among the sane again.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
Speaking of the same, how's Tobias looking?
Oh, well, he was looking good when he left early this morning.
Oh, where's he off to?
Oh, him and a group of them, they headed up to William told us about Lake Chipoctaw. He went up there to see snoop around.
Okay.
And have we heard anything from them since they went up there?
Well, when we looked on the map, it's a several hours drive, so
Mm,
I assume they're probably still on the road.
okay.
Maybe we can catch them up. Did they take
That'd be
any errands
following.
with them?
Yeah, yeah, they took the original vessels we made and all. If
Yeah.
you wait till this evening, we'll have another set done.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Michelle, how, well, for that matter, William, I'd like your opinion as well. Do we think Tobias is the ideal commander for a mission against these people?
No, I mean, he's brave. I mean,
He's the man who
he,
rounded us all up to get out here to America. That being said, we could use some backup. He could use some backup.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to take 9 or 20 of these urns up, I don't particularly want to leave. I mean, the thing about Tobias is that I found him in the woods in about 2.5 seconds, lurking around in his robes, looking extremely conspicuous and arrestable. I imagine that a group of committed lunatics who are trying to change the world will not have a hard time making him, if you know what I mean.
he is a city boy. Yeah, he's not used to being in the country, but I
Are
be
they well
very
armed at
happy.
least?
Oh yeah, yeah. They took some guns. You Americans are fascinating people. It seems strange if you don't have a gun.
Yeah, we got rid of the passenger pigeon, I can tell you that.
Mm,
It
yeah,
used to block out the sun and eat all the seed corn.
yeah. Well,
Wiped him off the face of the earth with good old American grit. Not bad eating either, I understand, although they were gone before my time.
no, well. Well, if they were eating all the crops, I could understand. No, no, he's good. They took a revolvers and a couple of shotguns and all with them.
Do the rest of you want to join our follow-up crew, or are you going to continue making?
Well, we'll get these made up and then we'll head on out in the morning. I'm not real excited about because we'll be done with this probably about 7 tonight. I'm not real excited about going driving on unfamiliar roads in the dark.
Uh, uh, Given your
Perhaps we
experiences, I'm surprised that you are not approaching this more urgently, but
Well, I mean, we want to make sure that we have it done properly. If we mess up and the vessels aren't correct, then kind of approaching our
What
doom.
can I have a look through the texts that you're
Hmm.
using?
Oh, of course, of course. So they've got it kind of laid out. They've got this scroll, and they've put like a plate of glass over it to kind of keep it from like stuff getting on it
Mhm.
and all. Looks very old, written in an old English style and all. Hmm. Like yeah, this is the one. It's a the scroll of Zivon. Oh,
How extensive is it? Could I read through it in a matter of minutes, or would it take hours and hours and hours?
that would be a language English check.
Oh, my language English is 70. Let's try it. And I got a 19.
Okay.
What is that? Is that a well, I could spend
Nah,
5 points or 4 points and yeah, okay.
nah, no, no, no. Looking at that, you figure like to read it completely and about an hour of
Do we
reading
have an
on
hour
it.
before we leave?
That's up to you guys.
Well, I'm asking the others. Do we have an hour
so
before we leave?
yeah, so here's our decision. We either head out after them now, likely to assist with scouting out whatever's happening at the lake without any urns. Perhaps Casey, you can study these scrolls on our drive out there and hope, by the time we get out there, you have a reasonable understanding of it and can actually cast these spells. Our other alternative is to stay here in Arkham, uh, wait for more of these urns to be created. Perhaps the rest of you can learn the binding spell, and any other spells that you may want to learn. Um, and perhaps there's other things we can do here in Arkham. I hear Manfred is leaning more towards urgency, and I tend to follow in that lead. At the same time, we also could benefit from having more backup because we could bring the rest of the order with us, along with more urns if we wait.
I
yes.
guess.
Go ahead.
Well, my concern is that if we get there as quickly as possible and we're not really prepared, then we're going to lose. And we need to be as prepared as we possibly can, I suppose. Would you let me take the scrolls with us and read them?
Oh,
Can I take with my phone camera? Can
oh
I take
yeah,
it?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, that'd be
In
no issue.
1929,
Get
yes.
out your giant like
Can I have a
Large format
no
platinum.
yeah. She
mimeograph machine? Yeah. You know
she's
what?
like, well,
Well, you said about an hour, so I
yeah,
wouldn't have time to copy down. Yeah.
yeah.
It seems
But
like the biggest.
but with that good of a role, a lot of it is like
Pretty
it's kind of
flowery
like
language.
yeah, pretty flowery. It's kind of like nowadays when you go get a recipe, you've got to read about how they discovered how to stir the pie. And you're like, just give me the ingredients. So if you work your way down the steps to make the urn and the spell and all, I'll say you could probably copy that down in about 15, 20 minutes.
Give me 15, 20 minutes and I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm of two minds. On the one hand, if the entire vicinity of Lake Chapatka is filled with murderous lunatics when we arrive because Tobias and the others have failed miserably, and we have to fight our way through an entire village full of maniacs, that's a downside, not to mention, of course, the loss of human life. On the other hand,
put happen
if we
anywhere. Yeah.
assume that Tobias gets up there, trips over his robes, and smashes all three vessels, and we get up there empty-handed an hour later, we're up the creek. So maybe tomorrow morning's just fine, and we could all practice the spell until we know it real well. I don't think we'd have made it, any of us would have made it out of that seaside cabin if it wasn't for the fire spell.
To be fair, Manfred, we did stay hidden outside of Greyport without attracting too much attention after murdering someone. We are quite skilled at hiding. Maybe not surviving in the wild, but we can hide out in the wild.
What time of day is it right now?
So she's saying that the things will be done about 7 o'clock, so it's about nine in the morning.
Oh, well.
And when you're reading it, when you saw on there the creation of these things, it takes about 10 hours for them to make it. That's why she's saying they won't be done till 7.
If I can read through this and study it for an hour, we're still going to get up there.
Right, but we won't have any backup urns, and I don't know that we want to rely on there being 3 originals intact.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if we practice the chant of binding and get good at it, we could also take the sigil that they can't cross down to the university. Harding, you've got a mimeograph machine available, right? We could print up, a couple hundred copies of that, so we didn't have to do it by hand.
Yeah, I'm sure that should be no trouble at all. I mean, very useful for sharing lab reports and the like.
Remember, the smell of that stuff can get in your head.
It's just vinegar.
Well, if no one needs me in particular, and Casey, you'll be done with copying these, perhaps Bernie or Manfred might be able to be of assistance. I do have some questions about Professor Sebastian's past. As an Irish national, I'm not sure if I'll be the best representative to go peeking about City Hall records, but perhaps Casey, being a student, you may have some more pull there, and then maybe we can find out more about the people in the pictures, maybe his connection to the lake and to that accident that occurred. Since we're waiting here in Arkham. Thoughts?
Yeah, it might be useful to know about that unlikely drowning in more detail. It might give us a further location if we're gonna wait.
We may also have some motive with Sebastian.
Yeah, I wonder how many local papers cover that event. I wonder if going through some newspaper morgues might prove useful in that regard.
I'm curious if the professor had relatives involved in that, like if maybe it was siblings or his children perhaps were involved in that lake incident.
Yeah, he had that newspaper article secreted in that photograph for a reason, certainly. It was sentimental and personal. Whether that sent him to Ireland in the first place or it just became part of some madness after he'd succumbed is another question. But if we're trusting that that's their destination.
Maybe if he's insane enough, we can use it as leverage against him or something, perhaps. Well, would anyone want to come with me? I think maybe we could start off at City Hall to get names, like maybe birth records, death records, that sort of thing. I don't know. So it sounds
like we're agreed on staying through the end of the day, see overnight, and heading up in the morning with the full Order of the Stone gang and 3 more urns.
Yeah, it might be the end of the world, but you take your chances.
Yeah. Are there telephone lines from Arkham up to Lake? I'm so sorry.
Chapoctaw?
Are there telephone lines from Arkham up to Lake Chapoctaw now? Or telegraph or something? Can we get any instant communication?
No.
No, not yet. Okay. They've only made it as far as Dunwich, but
Yeah.
um, okay. Bummer. So we'll be going in blind. There's not really any way to get more information about what's happening up there except to go.
Mhm.
How long is it, the journey?
To get there is about a
Yeah.
4-hour drive.
Would it be completely stupid for someone to go check it out, come back, report, go again in the morning with really prepared provisions based on information? Because it's only 4 hours each way.
Scouting party.
Yeah.
You're going to be pretty tired when you get back. Because it'll be 4 hours up there and then what, an hour or two looking around, and then that's 10
4 hours.
hours.
Well, if it's useful, I'm happy to do it. It wouldn't be the worst long haul I've done behind the wheel of a vehicle here. Some of those late nights out in the North Atlantic, it can get pretty draining, but you just have to keep going, keep your eye on the compass. But I don't know if it would be useful,
Yeah, the
assuming I get
question
back
I
alive.
suppose would be, what kind of reconnaissance would we find useful?
Well,
Where
suppose they're
they're
not
holed up?
actually doing where they're holed up, how many of them there are, whether they've already attempted the ritual, whether they're even attempting a ritual at all. They might be just getting something or meeting someone, or um, whether they have two pieces of the thing or just one, whether they've recovered the third
Yeah.
piece of the thing from the champagne.
William, do you think that you could send a couple of the order up there for recon
And then come back.
and then come back and tell us don't engage, just get the layout of what they're doing? Or
I'm sorry, I thought there was already members of the Order of the Stone going up to do this very thing, are they not?
Yes. But they weren't planning. I
They
mean,
were planning on coming back.
well,
Yeah.
they were, but they were planning on coming back after successfully binding it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't.
something. Yeah.
I fear that if there is danger, and we by all counts believe that there is, I would fear the loss of valuable people as opposed to just going up there tomorrow altogether.
Yeah, we get up there tomorrow, we can do our own reconnaissance before we act. We're not going to run in there with a tank
And just
or
go
a
prepared for the
covered
worst then.
wagon, whatever we have.
All right. Sounds good. So, who's going to stay and try and learn the binding ritual?
I'll
Okay.
try to learn everything I can.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, for doing that, you'll need to make an intelligence roll, but we'll come to that in a bit. I know William was wanting to go to City Hall, and was someone going to accompany them?
I'll go with them.
Okay.
I honestly, we have a full day now that we've changed plans. So
True. True.
if we go out and do research in town while Casey studies the binding ritual, since he's got an ear for these things, he might be better prepared to walk us through it in a couple of hours.
Very true. Okay. Right. And Dr. Harding, what were you going to do?
I was gonna go to the library
Hmm.
to look for newspaper articles related to the event because we had that one clipping, but I'm sure there's
Right.
longer articles somewhere.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm going to go looking for.
Okay. That sounds good. All right. So we'll start. Casey, go ahead and give me an intelligence roll.
Oh, yeah, I just did. I got 73 out of 75. I
Okay.
hope I don't need a hard.
Uh, we'll say that it's going to take you longer than you thought to get it down. Maybe
Couple
the
of hours.
syllables and stuff. It's a little bit more of a tongue twister than you thought it was going to be.
Gaelic.
Yeah,
Gaelic.
the rule.
Ah, yeah.
All right. And then the people going to City Hall.
Yeah.
Hey,
Um, yeah, I guess I'll just walk out with my thick ass Irish accent, asking for birth records. I'm asking, I guess, about Sebastian. What's his last name?
Uh,
That is his last name.
that is his
Yeah.
last name. I was going to get you
Oh,
his first name here in
oh,
a
please, that'd be great.
second. I want to say it's no Nicholas. I would have been wrong. So
Nicholas.
Nicholas
Okay.
Sebastian.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking
Not
for
that
like
long, man.
birth, marriage, and marriage records specifically.
Okay. Give me a charm or persuade roll to see how long it takes into
Okay. I think my persuade's higher. Ooh, double O.
double. Oh,
ooh,
100. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real busy right now. We'll be able to
Yeah.
get those to you hopefully this afternoon and all.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Bernie, I don't know if we're gonna have much luck here, unless you want to do some convincing
I don't
of
know.
your own.
What kind of convincing are you thinking of doing?
Well, I
It's,
tried to persuade them to give us and failed horribly. I got a little tongue twisted, and maybe they didn't understand my accent too well. Maybe they'll understand a little bit more pressure, if you know what I mean.
when you're a stranger in a foreign country, William, you can't let them mock you for your accent. The way you speak is beautiful.
Ah,
I appreciate it.
thank you.
And I'll head over
Okay.
uh, to the desk here and plant my elbow on the thing.
So the clerk looks up. She's like, "Oh, may I help you?"
I am investigating a case of a missing individual, an employee of the university. My colleague and I are specialists who have been brought in. Um,
The gentleman over there, the with the real thick accent, Scottish or something like that. I can't place it.
yeah, my junior exchange colleague from Ireland.
Oh,
He's
Ireland. Oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been brought in as a cultural specialist on this case. Now, it really is important that we have access to this. Is there anything you can do to? I'll lean sort of suggestively over the desk.
Okay. What skill are you trying to use there? Are you
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
like?
use persuade, and maybe I
Okay.
misunderstand how to
Okay.
play
Yeah.
Call
Yeah.
of Cthulhu.
No. No. That's fine. I like
Okay,
to because lots of times my characters, I'll fully admit, are much more charming than I am, and so so go
yeah,
ahead and give
Bernie's
me
more
a.
persuasive than I am.
I get.
Like 69 over 50. Oh
Uh,
no.
oh yeah. Well, we're definitely going to get that info for him and all. But like I was telling him, we're working on a couple things here. It's just the start of the month. You know how all the paperwork and everything has to get mailed out at the start of the month and all. But we'll definitely try to get that info to him by the end of the day. So
Okay. End of the day. Thank
Yeah.
you.
mhm.
Wow. I'll walk off to
All
William.
right. All right, Bernie. Well, we struck out there. Maybe we can go help out Harding in the library.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Speaking of Harding, so you're there at the library and you're trying to do some research on like articles about that incident and maybe, depending on your role, more stuff on about Chapach, the name of this place,
The
Chapactaw.
lake.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. I don't like how that librarian was looking at me.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Not one bit.
She, uh, So go ahead and give me a library use
Yeah.
there. All right. Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, I can picture the muscular structure underneath her skin, but I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't like it. 48. I will spend 3 points of luck
Okay. To make it a regular,
to
obviously.
make it a
Yes.
regular. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. You find a couple an article on the lake, specifically on the incident.
Embattled summer camp closes. Camp Lake Chappaqua, because I'm not going to be able to pronounce that at all. The summer camp, embroiled in controversy since four of its campers died in a boating accident earlier this summer, is closing for good. According to owner Pete Merrill, it was made clear to the camp. It was made clear the camp was no longer welcome in the area. The accident this summer was a tragedy. The counselors we hired were top notch, and this is nobody's fault. Despite that, my name, the name of all Camp Lake Chapakta Hawks, counselors and campers alike, have been dragged through the mud. Clearly, the people of Massachusetts don't want the camp operating here any longer, so I will respect their wishes. When pressed on whether the closure was a financial decision to protect himself, Merrill rejected the idea. This has nothing to do with money, the courts, or any wrongdoing. I cannot provide a service to people who don't want it. Therefore, I will be focusing my efforts on the other two campgrounds we own and operate in the greater New England area. The man is a coward, claimed grieving parrot Marcus Holman. My my Betty died due to his negligence. The counselors out there were barely older than the kids they were supposed to be protecting. Now, rather than to face the people of Massachusetts and answer for it, he's turning tail and fleeing. Mr. Merrill had no further comment. Camp Lake Chappaqua has been closed since the accident on June 14th.
And you found another article a little bit older.
Historic Arkham Journal, September 1899. Colonial Nelville. Chapakta Ridge lies to the northwest of Arkham. In colonial times, its beautiful tree-lined hills caught the eye of Puritan settlers looking for a safe haven. The enclave of Nelville was established in 1635 and named in honor of its leader, one Milton Nelville. Between its founding and subsequent abandonment, the settlement grew to over 200 inhabitants. Like many other Puritan colonists, those residing in Nelville sought a place to escape religious persecution. Records show that their desire for tolerance did not extend to others. Quakers seeking refuge in the village were prosecuted and jailed, and the witch trials that gripped Salem also poisoned Nelville, with multiple of its residents accused of witchcraft. In the end, it was disease rather than heresy that sealed Nelville's fate. The settlement was struck down with a wasting disease in late 1698. Modern scholars believe that it may have been a form of tuberculosis. Now, all that remains of Nelville are its ruins and a few scattered footnotes in history.
Me and William arrive at the library and find Dr. Harding with these clippings. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I drove Harding to the library, and I've been sitting, leaning against my vehicle smoking because I find this place is very dusty and irritating.
So we walk up on the street outside. Hello there, Manfred. How's it going?
Hell if I know. Any luck?
Yeah, we struck out at the city hall. Perhaps
damnable bureaucrats.
Yes. I was thinking, Manfred, I wonder if it might not be a bad idea for us to secure some weaponry before we head out.
Yeah, I had similar thoughts. I wouldn't trust all of our party to be able to functionally use a weapon. So if you have any experience.
I can't say that I do. Firearms aren't much of a thing on my side of the pond.
I can tell you that when we got caught by the dead thing in the old man's cabin, I put a rifle up to its chest and kind of winged it. It didn't seem to care very much, having been waterlogged from a long time in the sea. Uh, they should work against the cultists themselves, though. What I'll do is, while everybody's fiddling around at the house waiting for their urns to dry or whatever, I'll clean and check all your weapons, so at least you won't have any malfunctions because you loaded them poorly or stuck the barrel in the mud at some point when you were starving to death and shitting yourself in the woods.
Yes.
Manfred, there's no need to be mean.
What does that mean?
It was, I don't know.
It's true. When I lead hunting expeditions, I have to happen to listen to idiots with money to get paid while I keep them alive despite themselves. So maybe I'm taking some of that out on you.
Yeah, these are idiots without money.
Stressful times.
And they're not paying us.
All right. Okay. All right. So, anything you wanted to do before headed back to the place where Casey is doing his studies?
I'm assuming. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to, while near the university, I want to mimeograph that sigil again.
Okay, yeah.
I'd like to arm everybody with a handful of them like leaflets so that they don't get their arms degloved or anything.
Do we know if it'll work when it's been mimeographed, or does it have to have been drawn by a person?
I mean, we do a chant with it. So, and it didn't seem to matter, how everybody draws an A a different way. It didn't seem to be, I think if the lines are crossed, I mean, who knows? But it was in chalk. It was, it was in steam on a window. And,
also a fair amount of intention behind it as well. I'm sure fear has some binding power to it. I'm assuming that there's nothing we can really help out Harding with. There's no further research to be conducted here.
Nah, I mean, if you went in there and helped, we're not really going to find anything else on it.
It feels like we're kind of dragging our feet here then. I mean, it can't be lunchtime yet, right? It's not even.
Yeah.
Yep.
Around lunch now.
So it's leaving the library at this point.
Hello, Gregory.
Oh, hello. How did the record search go?
No dice, but perhaps I can stop by there again at the end of the day. They said they might be able to rustle up some records for me by then, but
yes, I found a few records. Apparently, up by this lake, there was a old community called Nellville that was wiped out in the late 1600s by tuberculosis. After indulging in some good old-fashioned witch hunting. I don't know how relevant that will be, but the owner of the owner of the camp, the summer camp, was rather cross at the public's outrage against regarding the accident.
I'm assuming they didn't print the names of the deceased anywhere.
I didn't see the names of the deceased. I didn't see any mention of Sebastian.
What about the owner of the camp and the other? I mean, I assume Gregory shows us the clippings. So, what about the other two camps that are mentioned? Do we know anything about those?
The locations, yeah, with that, like he had one up in Maine and another one just across the border. What was that, New Hampshire? Just right next to.
Yeah, I think one camp is on the intersection of not relevant and stop asking.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Totally. I was wondering if they spell out Agron, Solom, Soph on the map and they're aligned with the stars. I don't know.
Funny how those original Indian names can sound almost like English sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stepasking tribe, I think, was
Yeah.
pretty badly
Yeah,
bastardized
probably
by the Puritans.
noted.
Yeah.
But I mean, sorry,
But speaking of the
just
corner of not relevant and stip asking, what about Melville community and the dying of tuberculosis in the late
I
17th
look,
century?
I'm just telling you what I found, okay? I mean,
Yeah.
I seem to have found much more material than the two of you.
It's very true, very
Also,
true.
again, Bernie, I mean, if you want me to remove that mole, I'd be happy to
What
do
mole
it.
are you talking about?
Harding
Do I have
man,
a
there's
mole?
there's
Turning to
no
Lynn.
mole.
He says I have a mole. He keeps saying I have a mole. I'm going to turn to a random person in the lobby. Do I have a mole? Do you see a mole on my face?
Uh,
Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
here's a quarter. Please just leave me alone.
Turn
Few
back some
bits,
folks.
not bad.
Yeah, yeah. I should have taken that, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yep. It's probably approaching lunchtime. You know, you got about 4 hours before City Hall said they'd have something to provide to you. Mhm.
I guess we'll
So,
go get
Well, I
lunch.
know of this really good restaurant. They have really good fish fillets there.
Are you going to think they're swimming on the plate?
You know what I would really like that I haven't got a chance to try is one of your famous American hamburgers. How about we go to a nice hamburger joint?
I like your thinking, McMillan.
With some of those chips, I mean French fries as they call them.
all right. Do you want to let Casey know where you were going to eat?
No.
Sure.
Oh.
Sure, we'll tell
Okay.
him.
All right. So,
Sure. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I guess
You guys
we'll
gonna come and get me for
we'll
lunch?
yeah, we'll head over to the diner and
Snack time.
fill Casey in after he's been poring over occult tomes.
It's pretty heavy stuff. I I've been going over it. I took a couple of breaks and thought that I'd have some fun checking the astrological, the positions of the planets and stuff for all of this. And I didn't find much, but I did find one bit of significance. There are a number of major, um, Irish call them ferry paths. That's probably what you know them as, William. We call them ley lines that converge just north of Chappaqua uh, Lake.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if that's significant or not, but that might be why
Well,
they've chosen it.
the area has some connection to the occult and early American history. Apparently, there was some uh, witchcraft persecution going on in that area.
Well, it does make me wonder whether the ley line is created after that and they just put that in the path or not. But there's a few significant ones. So I don't know.
Might
Other than
be
that,
that.
Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, since we think Sebastian had some connection to the incident on the lake, that might have brought his attention to the region, but the ridge is where the settlement was that everyone died in after their witch hunts. It might not have to do with the water after all. It might be that he's drawn to a location for some reason.
You know, I didn't trace the line farther out than it normally would be traced, but I wonder if it crosses the path of the archaeological site in Ireland as well. If I trace it, it's hard to do on a flat map because it's not really
Mm-hmm.
straight on a map, but it might.
If that connected to Achra it'd be pretty damning stuff, honestly. We do want to pinpoint their location.
I'll have a hamburger and fries.
Oh, of course.
Now, what
Take
pray
bacon.
tell is a milkshake?
I think it's butter.
That's what happens when you shake cream. A milkshake's like an egg cream, except it's got ice cream in it instead of seltzer.
Strange they would
Ice
have that
cream. Interesting.
Strange they'd have that on the menu.
Well, while eating, I will also be trying to, I don't know how you do it, a sine wave or whatever, to just in case to see if that ley line goes all the way to Ireland.
Okay. Um,
I
trying to
know
think.
pretty much instantly if it didn't, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Not thinking it'd really be navigate. It'd almost be, but navigate is probably the closest skill that would be able to.
Or math.
Yeah. Yeah. Or science.
We could
Science.
also,
Oh, I didn't know I had astronomy. I do have astronomy.
and like every reasonable person, I have a globe that's got liquor inside it. So if you can just take a string and put that across,
True. Yeah.
temperature is built in.
Well, I rolled 94 on my navigate, so
Oh,
maybe I'm
yeah.
having trouble figuring it out,
Yeah.
at least here at the diner.
Mm-hmm.
And you got ketchup on your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
On your
Doctor,
elbow.
Dr. Harding, just give me a sanity roll there.
Oh God, 52 is a fail.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're kind of sitting there, you see Casey, and it looks like he must be bleeding. His shirt's got some red stains on it, and yeah, you know.
Good heavens, Casey! Quick, put some pressure on that. I'm gonna start pressing on his arm.
Oh, I think it's just
Shit.
ketchup.
Manfred, grab my bag. I need to stitch him up.
I'll
I
grab
don't
your
think
bag.
that it's. I think it's just ketchup. I don't
Here,
feel
bite
anything.
down on this. This will only hurt a little.
I'm gonna
Whoa,
pull away
wait.
from him.
I mean, if nobody stops me, I'm gonna start sewing.
I'm
Harding,
gonna-
it's all right, man. He's
I'm grabbing your bag. I'm not giving it to you. Rest assured.
Please,
Keep away from
he's
him.
bleeding. God damn it!
No. See, it's just ketchup. Ketchup. See, it's gone. No one.
You can see the smear on the edge of his plate there. They match. It's all right.
I have a hangnail. No.
Ooh,
Well,
that requires
I will sit back down and go back to cutting my patty into little pieces.
stop playing with your food, Harding.
The anatomy of the pickle is an interesting thing. Those undeveloped seeds are soft and digestible. The
Yes,
fully
how
ripe
astute,
cucumber,
Manfred.
they're like pumpkin seeds, but you can toast them. A little bitter though.
It's pickles are technically melons. So
All right. So
I'm gonna move my seat to the other side of the table.
Yeah. Maybe the waitress when Dr. Harding was she comes over, she goes, "Is everything all right?"
Oh,
Yes.
everything's fine. Just a little bit of a mix-up is all.
Oh, okay. I just heard some raised voices and made me nervous. Yeah. Oh, but
Yeah, sorry about that. It's all fine now. Um,
oh,
say, could you bring another milkshake, please?
oh, of course. And she goes back to create that for you. Okay. Right.
So what
So
are we
we
doing this
survived
afternoon?
lunch.
Mhm.
Uh, I see no reason that Harding and I don't try City Hall with a different approach. We have a couple more names from those newspaper articles. One of the mothers complained, so we have. There's got to be a public record. I'm surprised the fellow wasn't tried from the sound of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, since Hawk's
Let's
having
try
a
it
hard time
again.
getting his head around it.
Maybe we can get them to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, Harding, have you already done any research, or for that matter, Hawk? We have the names of the three components of this thing: Agron, Talon, and Soth. And I don't know if they have different characteristics or anything, but I wonder, is there any mythology attached to any of those names?
I don't think I could find any reference even to the language that they are. They're not Celtic.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Armitage keeps that one book around, the Necronama something.
Oh yes, I've read it
Um,
20 or 30 times.
Oh, so-
It's mythology. The
yes.
name does have similarity to Yog Sothoth, but you know. Um,
Never had much truck with Young Sothery.
I mean, I've never seen anything like this written in a book, so it's probably an obscure little Celtic cult that started it.
Names are idiosyncratic. All right. City Hall, and then we see how the other redheads are doing with their clay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys headed to City Hall?
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay. Who's going inside?
I'm gonna go with again.
Oh,
Oh, I don't.
yeah.
I don't
Wait.
know that. I'm not, let's just start from scratch. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm not going to go in.
Okay.
some of these. I mean, officially, you're not white yet, so
That's true. I'll stay outside then and have a cigarette with Bernie.
Mhm. All
That's
right.
right.
All right. So, uh, you come in, and the clerk is looks like she's busy, but of course, when you come over, she looks up at you and she smiles like any good government customer service rep can, and she's like, "On, oh, may I help you?"
I very much hope so. Uh, we we have a there's a academic at Miskatonic who's missing, and we're looking to see about his next of kins, his records in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Last name Sebastian.
Oh. Hmm. Well, he's become incredibly popular today, apparently.
Oh, how
How's that
so?
so?
Oh, just a gentleman was asking about him this morning, and then his special lady friend, she came over and was asking also, and I told him I'd be able to get the information for him. But out of the two of you, who has the worst luck?
I have 47.
Down to 31.
All right, give me a luck roll.
Well, that was a long shot. 79.
She's like
No,
going,
not.
yeah, I'll have most of it compiled, you know, end of the day, I can easily make some mimeographs for you too. It'd be no extra trouble.
That'd be much appreciated. When someone slips away out of sight, people get a little anxious. I'm not surprised the university has more than one hand involved.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would explain. Well, we like to help out the university. They help, provide the economy for the town.
Absolutely, and I understand what it's like to be a bureaucrat and
Hmm.
how difficult that can be. And I slip her a 10.
Okay. Oh, that she's like, going, well, if you wanted to come back, you could maybe look through the record yourself. Of course, I,
Oh,
I, I, I
save you some time and trouble as well.
exactly. Yeah.
That's an excellent idea.
Well, Manfred,
Carding,
Right.
yes, let's go look some records.
All right. Give me a library use.
As we
it's
are
all
shortly carted away for bribing public.
it's all you, Harding.
46. Oh my God. Why? Okay. If you didn't pass, I'll spend 1 point of luck to pass.
I have a 20 base. I rolled again with a
Okay.
70. So.
I will spend 1 point of luck.
All right. So as you kind of go through there, you find his marriage certificate. It was dated in 1898. He married his wife, Lucinda. As you go on, you find birth announcements for his daughters, Lucy and Samantha. They were both born 1 month apart from each other. And then in 1906, you find the death certificates for his daughters. They died on June 14th, 1906, drowning. And then a year later, you find a death certificate for his wife, Lucinda. Apparently, it was believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Well, this verifies our fears. Uh, were they born 1 year apart or 1 month apart?
1 year. If I said 1 month, that was me just misspoke speaking. Yeah.
Uh, all right, and the owner of the camp, what's his name?
I was busy reading it aloud, so I did not write that down.
Oh, Pete Merrill.
Pete Merrill.
Yeah. So he was found not responsible for the it was ruled an accident. He was held obviously he was sued and he paid some money out, but there's no other record because it's believed he moved away after the law cases were taken
Right.
care of.
Not necessarily a local to begin with or anything.
Nah.
So we don't know who the boys are in the photograph, but we do know that he has as strong a connection to that lake as anybody. And if these damned things can resurrect JJ after what was done to him, maybe he's hoping to bring his daughters back out of that lake.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly a possibility. I mean, I
He'd have
don't
to
know
be
how.
thoroughly out of his gourd, but there's no reason to think
Yeah.
otherwise.
I mean, he's gotten this far. Um,
Good God. What's the date?
The date now it is I have written down that it is September 5th.
Okay. Right. So probably, yeah. The champagne on the 25th. Uh-huh. Well, I don't think he's waiting for next July to come around.
no.
Uh, well, let's get out of here before somebody comes to arrest me for bribing an official. Thank the nice lady.
She's like, oh, no problem at all. She's like, did you leave the articles out so I can have them ready for the when that gentleman and his special lady friend come back?
Oh,
Yes, I believe we did.
Oh, well, thank you. You're too kind. She's like, you're welcome anytime. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
thank you to you public servants.
Ah,
Um,
thank you. Okay. Wanda. The name's Wanda.
oh, nice to meet you, Wanda.
make make a small net to send Wanda flowers later. Yeah, take that back to the House of the Order of the Stone.
All right. So, when you guys get back there, they're kind of, they're about we'll say they get there about 6. They got about an hour left in the getting the containers ready. But they're like it's come along well. We'll have it all done by 7, and then we can head on up there tomorrow.
Why not
Hopefully,
tonight?
well,
Yeah.
if you want to drive, I'm not familiar with these roads, so I'm nervous about driving at night. But if some of you are willing to drive, yeah, you're local, so I'd be much more comfortable with that.
We
Well,
know which
perhaps
side
you
of the
could
street to
follow us.
drive on.
Yeah,
It's true.
perhaps you could follow us.
Oh yeah,
Make a caravan of it.
And that
yeah.
The
way, I
number.
don't know. I mean, we'd be getting up there in darkness. I don't know if we would prefer to be up there in the light.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if it's about a 4-hour drive, we'd probably be getting there right at 11 midnight.
Maybe
Which an
they
hour and
wouldn't
all.
see us come in.
Well, headlights are
But I
what
mean, they
make
might be
it
asleep or
possible.
something.
and this place is probably extremely remote, so
Mhm.
they see us coming from, probably hear us coming for, you know, potentially
With,
miles away.
with Nelville long gone, what is the nearest community to Lake Chipoctaw?
Um, we'll
Yeah,
say
just
some city, some small town, but you know, yeah, it's one of those communities that really is kind of there to you know maybe do some logging and all, but it's not a very big town, and it's probably about 30 minutes outside of where the lake is also.
mm-mm.
So having read through the literature and memorized parts of it and written it down, logistically, what are we going to need other than the vessels? Do we have to draw a circle on the ground and make symbols and chant things? And I
Okay.
want to make sure I have everything in place
Mhm.
to be able to
So,
carry that stuff with us.
so the ritual, it is a chant. You think that more people doing the chanting give you a better chance of having it occur. Uh, you need to have the creature actually, nearby to be able to pull it into the vessels, and also it's not like you could
Okay.
be, miles away from wherever it's at and all. But yeah, there's no like symbols or anything you have to draw. It's mostly, getting the
Those are already
container in
on the
the middle,
pots.
and there,
Yeah.
yep, those are already on the pots and everything. So, most of the stuff that you would need to get set up for a ritual, that's kind of what they were doing with the containers and all.
So what I'll do, what I was doing, we'll say, in preparation, was I was also writing out copies of the chant to hand to each person, writing them out as
Mhm.
phonetically as possible.
Okay. Uh, that makes sense to me
And
and
I've
all.
I've got those in my pack.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like
Perhaps we could leave Arca maybe around 2 or 3 and get there at like the crack of dawn. Um,
Well, do we want to be able to sneak around in the dark and see what's going on? They could be they
Well,
could be preparing.
if they're camped out on a mountain lake in the middle of nowhere, and a couple of vehicles come over a rise at 11:30.
They're going to see it.
That's going to be the loudest and brightest thing
They'll
for
see and
miles.
hear us, yeah.
Uh,
Unless we park at the town nearby and
Hike
hike
in.
there
did-
in darkness.
Yeah, and like that
Miles
darkness
is
away from
miles.
this. Yeah, and that's dark out there in the woods with a.
If it's heavily wooded, they might not see us coming.
But they might hear us.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we'll be just as exposed if we go in during the day. So in any event, we need to figure out how to approach it.
Well, and what was Tobias's plan? Were they going to stay overnight? I hope they brought some canned goods.
Oh no, they were gonna go up there, and if they were successful, they would be coming back. So well, I'd hopefully
So
be seeing them in a few hours.
were they going to attempt the ritual?
Oh yes. Yeah,
So
they had
we
already-
can assume that everybody up there, should they fail, will know that we're coming.
Yeah, we should assume that. But I guess we should just drink Irish whiskey and play backgammon and assume they'll be riding in triumphant in an hour or two.
Well, we could,
and when you say that, Michelle she's like, oh well. She's like, I hope you're right, but unfortunately, our luck hasn't really been on our side. I don't know if you noticed that we haven't really been successful.
The idea has struck me, I'll admit.
Maybe we have to go up there sooner rather than later. And are we planning to stay more than one night, or are we just going to go do the thing and come back? Should we bring camping supplies? Try to find somewhere to sleep?
I think we're going to be too much adrenaline on the run to sleep. But
Those of us who make it out of this confrontation, if we do, are probably going to need a hospital and more than a camp stove.
Fair.
I mean, you saw Cavendish's arm. Poor bastard.
Yeah. I saw JJ and Harold too. I didn't like the looks of that at all.
Well, I think I'm leaning toward midnight raid.
I'm in agreement.
All right. So guys rolling out here just shortly after 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the Irish stew. Pack the urns up properly as discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get a chance to check on the guns, Manfred?
See no reason why not. It's been a while
You-
since we went to town hall.
you said that the urns are about crockpot size.
Yeah, and they're made out of metal.
Okay, they're made out of
Oh, they're
metal,
not
so they're
quite.
kind of heavy.
Yeah.
How carryable are they? Do we have to carry them like this? Are they fluted so we can tie a rope around them and carry them, or
No, they look like they went to the store and bought pots. So they're
Cooking
like
pots.
they're
Yeah.
cooking pots essentially. So they're not, because according to the scroll, you just needed a container. In
Okay.
1200, they made clay urns, but in modern times
So-
in 1929, got
and
metal.
so they're light enough that one person can carry one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need multiple people.
No,
But there's welding equipment.
yeah. 'Cause
See
they-
if there's some.
A couple of our Irish compatriots have learned spot welding.
They think they can figure it out. What's worse
built
that could
the
happen?
Titanic, didn't they?
When you're using an acetylene torch. How dangerous could that be?
Right.
Okay.
So let's.
We're all going to die, aren't we?
I mean,
No.
honestly, Captain Green, we've made it this far. Maybe there
Yeah.
is some providence after all.
You have something called the luck of the Irish. Perhaps it'll be on our side this time.
How many of you started out on this expedition?
All of us are still alive, as far as we know. We all survived
I mean, Michelle was the only one who made it off the champagne, and some of her friends were not in good shape.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, you almost shot yourself to death.
Oh, and the luck of the Irish did not prevent the urns from being stolen in the first place.
Yeah, you should have brought some shamrocks with you.
Yeah. I'll not stand for these stereotypes. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we'll head out and we'll bring the rest of the order with us and we'll caravan out.
Okay.
Yeah, check the torch batteries. I'll go over all the weapons again to make sure they're in order. We can chant the binding spell after dinner till we all can sing it in harmony. How long is it?
Oh, how long does it take to cast it? Once you are set up, so the biggest part, of course, was making the containers, which took 10 hours. But once you have it up, the chant is with a little bit of practice, you think you could probably have it said within a minute. So.
All right. And we could agree that on Hawk's phonetics before we. Although again, I think these things have some flexibility. However this works, it's not a science exactly. Oh,
Nicht an Sag.
Yeah. Nicht an Sag.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys get in the vehicle and you're driving out there. And who's the driver of your vehicle?
I'll do that.
Okay. Yep. Like I said, it's a 4-hour drive out to there on the 1920s roads and all. Let's see here. Chipoctaw Ridge. It's as you leave the town behind, there's a stretch of woods that goes up into the Massachusetts countryside. Manfred, you would recognize that this road, this is probably used by hunters going up into the woods all. The foliage becomes thicker and all, and just with your headlights kind of flashing on the curves, you can't see very far because it's a kind of a curvy road to cut through the nature and all. It starts getting quite rutted, and you start bouncing around. Wow! And you can give me a drive roll.
I usually have a driver when I'm on safari. Mm-hmm. I have to spend 9 of my few points to pass that.
Oh, it's up to you.
It's better than breaking an axle.
Okay, all right. Or high centering it.
Yeah. I imagine it gets ruddier where the logging takes over from the hunting and one low.
I love it. Okay. Oh, as you continue down the road, you see a sign up ahead. It's it would have been hanging on like a little chain links, but the left chain link's broken, so it's resting on the ground. It says Camp Lake Chipoctaw, Boys and Girls Camp, population one great time.
It was a corny marketer as well as an irresponsible camp counselor. Owner. Now it's September, so it probably isn't completely dry. The road here under the headlights, does it seem like there's been some traffic down this lane in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
Is there any sign of coming and going? I feel like the tires are going to have that V shape in them, so they might look different in both directions, but that's a stretch perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably have to stop and get out of the vehicle to actually do that. We have to see it from
Well,
drive.
I mean, we know Tobias went down there and
Yeah.
he hasn't come back, which means they didn't find nothing and drive back in the afternoon. So,
Mhm. Okay.
uh, yeah, but I will, I'm just stopping long enough to like look down the lane,
Hmm.
and to, check that the order is still behind us,
Still behind you. Yep.
sort of wave them in the direction of the turn. And I think it's time to, I'd like to put something over my headlights to be less conspicuous, but the fact is anything's going to stand out. There's no light in the direction of the camp.
No,
No
there's
sign
not.
of campfires or
Mm-mm. And Casey would know because he's got points in astronomy and all. You're about a week out from the is it the new moon that's completely dark? And so you got
yeah,
there's not,
quarter.
yeah, so not a lot of moonlight also coming in. Mhm.
And the trees, that makes it pretty dark too.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. So blocking out your headlights would make it exceptionally challenging.
Yeah. All right, we're just gonna go real slow.
All right. So you head on up there. You come to us. You see up ahead in the headlights. You can see uh, the the woods and trees. It kind of clears out and it opens. It looks like it's opening up into man-made area. So looks like it's been purposely cleared out and all. And if you look ahead, you can see there are some vehicles parked. There is a beat up old pickup truck, a large box truck, and a pair of sedans, which William, you would recognize were some of the vehicles that the order rented.
Uh,
Our men are out here.
I'm gonna do a little drive around to use the headlights as a flashlight and just
Hmm.
get a lay of the clearing, looking
Okay.
for corpses or gun barrels mostly.
Now, hopefully, your people don't think that we're the bad guys.
Okay. And let me show you kind of the map of this camp here.
Spooky abandoned summer camp. With the
So
2 or 3 cars of other guys behind us, right?
yeah, you got a car of
Yeah.
people behind you also. So you can see there, obviously you're coming from the bottom right corner. You can see the vehicles up ahead. As you come up here, you can see these are cabins and a circle, and then you've got one large cabin there, which anyone's done any time at a Boy Scout camp or anything, that's probably the chow hall that you would have. And just
Sure.
with your headlights, when you make the turn, you can see that there's a lake a little bit further past that with a tower. So like people were watching for forest fires, kind of one of those towers, kind of right there by the lake. But you don't see any people.
No lights of any kind.
No.
Of course, what time is it?
People, nor corpses. It's approaching
Uh,
midnight.
They might
yeah.
be asleep. No
Well,
electricity to this camp.
No.
never would have if it closed in 1906. So there's no sign of people. They're not sleeping because we have two enemy camps involved. You understand, Hawk? We have people who want to kill each other. So the question is, where did they go to do so? I'm going to start just, I'm going to actually, Winchester on my right arm, flashlight on my left, park pointed nose up toward escape.
Okay.
I'm going to
Big,
start
yeah,
looking for action. Something has to happen here. I guess I'll go to the order of the Stones sedans first to
Okay.
see if they're just stewing in their own blood already.
should have
Okay.
William with you so that if if it's one of them, he can say, it's us.
Yeah. I'll follow up behind him.
Okay, so you guys are going to approach the sedans. When you
I
go,
will say before, as Manfred slides out, I'll slide behind the steering wheel and wait in the car
okay.
while the other guys go and look.
Mhm. And Dr. Harding and Casey, you guys staying in the vehicle also?
Oh, maybe outside the vehicle, but
Okay. All right.
Think I'll again, Bernie. I mean, really, uh, if you want it removed, all you have to do is ask.
Yuri, why don't you go run off with Manfred and William and play with the boys in the truck and the car and leave me alone just for a second, staring straight ahead, not even looking at him.
I'll grab my medical bag and I'll slip out of the car, linger it with it open for a second, and then shut it.
Nice.
Bastard asshole. He's talking about fucking mold. I got that removed when I was getting at me.
All right. So, William and Manfred, when you go up to the sedans, um, you shine your torch in there and look around. You don't see any blood or anything. Doesn't look like people got out of it. Under fire, or so none of the windows are shot out or anything like that.
Is there equipment in the seats? Are there firearms?
There is not.
Uh, um, I don't know. Did trunks lock in 1929? No.
Yeah.
I think they must have, right?
Yeah. We'll say that it's not.
I'm just going to see if the vessels are still in the vehicles.
Okay. When you pop open the trunk, they are.
Oh, all right. Well, we've got 6 vessels, so we were overcautious, perhaps. And from the vantage point of their sedans, just again shining the torch across the other 3 vehicles, everything's still
Yep.
dewy and quiet under a faint moon.
Mm-hmm.
They all went off somewhere.
Yeah, why would they leave the vessels to?
This is probably not great tracking. Probably a bit hard packed and slightly overgrown
Yeah.
with long abandoned. Although I'm sure local kids come out here and dance whatever crazy dance they do. William, I think we should try the box truck first. I don't know why they brought something larger over. Let's
Okay.
turn off our torch for a minute, see if there's any sign of movement or light.
And I'm listening very closely too.
And now that we're out under what moonlight there is, we could make our way across a field to a box truck without falling on our asses. So let's just go real quiet.
Okay. And William, give me a listen roll because you said you were kind of trying to listen real well.
72.
You
Nope.
don't hear anything.
Okay.
All right. So Casey, Dr. Harding, and Bernie, you see Manfred turns off his flashlight, and you see him walking away from the sedan toward the box truck. You guys gonna just keep watching, or?
Yeah,
Keeping
kind
the
of.
car. Go ahead.
I'm wondering if any of the Order of the Stone was around here. They would have probably noticed us drive up. So I'm waiting for them to pop out of the shadows.
Mhm.
I just don't want them to shoot us.
Right. We'll
Yeah,
say that the other car, they've pulled up next to you, and they've opened the doors and gotten out. Michelle's still sitting at the driver's seat, also emulating Bernie there, kind of ready to go if they need to.
Maybe they have some secret
Yeah.
or
I don't know if that's that sophisticated, Casey. Are there
planning,
any
planning, planning.
are there any footsteps going off in any direction other than towards the camp itself?
Um, Near where your car is? No.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not one for tracking, but it doesn't seem they came back this way. I fear, Casey, that they're all dead.
I mean, that's always a possibility.
Okay. All right. So Manfred and William, you get up to the box truck there. It's large. You can see that there was definitely something in the back of it because when it was drug out, you know how you can see like the kind of drag marks in the back. Looks like a large box of a crate or something was drug out of the back of the truck.
Well, Macmillan, they've got the last of the originals here to the site. Let's see if we can follow them through the earth.
Okay, that will be a track.
Good. I'm not bad at tracking. 87 is bad at tracking.
It's dark. It's dark tonight, so yeah, it's a little tough. Little
Dark,
tough.
it's harder. I want to shine the flashlight in the cabin of the box truck too. Then.
Okay. Um, when you shine it in there, you see like some discarded food wrappers. Looks like stuff you would get at a gas station.
Mhm. Um, how's the gas tank?
Oh, how much gas is left in it?
Yeah.
Um, we'll say a half.
Uh, all right, we have to go to their passenger vehicles unless you've got a better idea, William.
No, I say we check out the vehicles, and then if we don't find anything here, we start to move up towards the campsite.
Yeah, I have half a mind to siphon out the gas that's in this truck and just light up all of those cabins without opening a goddamn door after what happened in the last
Burn
place.
first, ask questions later.
Yeah, we didn't need to open anything at the Barnes place, but yeah, first we'll look in the cars.
Okay. Uh, so the sedans, those were the ones that from the Order of Stone, you kind of already looked at those
All
already.
right.
The box truck you looked at, and there's still the pickup truck that's sitting there. Is that the last one you want to look at?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. When you look at the go up to the pickup truck, you see in there it's got like a gun rack in the back window with no guns in it and all. Looks like in here, it's got in the back of the truck there was a tent that's still rolled up.
Hmm. How many do we think of the original archaeological crew are still alive? I
3.
mean,
Yeah, if you go off that passenger manifest.
all right.
Yeah, that's I've been keeping tracks. There's Nicholas Sebastian, Mickey Spill, and Terrence Baker who are still out and about.
So we got them.
Okay.
We had them outnumbered. I mean, your people had them outnumbered when they arrived. Uh, they're not using their tent. The these camp cabins have been unused for nearly a quarter of a century.
That's true.
Are their roofs intact?
Uh, so they've got the plants that are kind of growing up on it, and some of in the roofs are, you can definitely tell that they've started to fall in. And
And these are probably on poles because they're right next to the lake. So they have a few steps going up.
yep. Hmm.
How many of the steps are intact?
We'll say less than half.
All right, so we could ignore all the ones that'd be hard to get into. Their floors are rotted if the ceiling's rotted. Um, should we wave the others in? I mean, we're clear up to here. We might want more manpower if we're going to go into the camp area.
And if they're watching us, no one's made any moves quite yet. I can't
No,
hear anything
we'd
out
be
here.
sitting ducks if they were in the shade of one of these places with a gun out a window.
Hmm. Yeah, might not be a bad idea to get some more backup before we start to sweep the cabins.
Just scanning the central area where there'd probably be the story pit between the
Hmm.
huts on a summer night. Is there a recently prepared gibbet and someone hanging dead from it over a sigil on
No,
the earth?
no, there is not.
That's what I'd expect. All right, let's get the others and prepare them as best we can.
Okay. All right. So Dr. Harding, Casey, and Bernie, you see Manfred and William kind of signaling to you. The people at the Order of the Stone, they open up the as they would call it the boot of the car, and they get out their guns. And Michelle gets out also, and she comes up to the driver's side and waits for you there, Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get up, get out,
Okay. Yeah.
walking towards the guys.
He's
This
like,
better be important, or not better. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, I'm afraid to leave the car. I think someone might try to damage it, get us stuck out here.
yeah, could, but I mean, Manfred's signaling us. I seems like he thinks it's all right.
I'll wave to Manfred. All right, let's go, Michelle.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you guys all kind of meet up there. So you're kind of on the outside of where the cabins are and all. So you have it because you were just kind of looking. Was there anyone in the center of it? Which there wasn't. So. Mhm.
And the earth um, between the cabins, they probably poured sand on that or something back in the day to keep the weeds down. Does it
Yeah.
look disturbed if I get down low and flash a light across it? Are there lots of footfalls and what's left of that?
Oh yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
so there's lots
And
of.
yeah. And all of you can give me a spot hidden when he kind of does that and shines the light across it.
Here we go.
23 is a success, hard success.
Okay.
I have a regular only.
Yeah, we'll see how Casey did
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Got a 15.
Ooh. Okay. Which is a regular or hard or extreme?
Wait, what roll was it?
Spot hidden.
Spot hidden. That's just a regular. I mean, no,
Okay.
it's less than it's a half.
Okay, so it's hard.
Yeah,
All right.
hard.
So, Manfred, were you the one that got the regular, or was that Bernie?
I got a
Yeah.
regular.
Okay, so when you do that, you see some reflection of shell casings in the sand, from guns and all. Um,
The guys
Casey,
shooting.
Casey, with you getting the the hard there, you can see some blood uh, leading up to the chow hall,
Um, there's
and yeah,
blood over there.
yeah, just like yeah, it looks like when someone's moving when they're dripping blood, it kind of looks like that. Dr. Harding, you see both of those, but you also see in the lake, you see a blue kind of hand for a brief moment extend out of the lake, then disappear back into it.
Uh-oh.
There's something in the lake.
Sardines.
No,
Well, there's definitely blood over there going towards that building.
it was a hand. I think it was beckoning us.
Uh-oh.
Are you sure it's not ketchup, Harding?
No, I swear. This wasn't ketchup, Manfred.
What was it a person's hand?
I believe so.
It,
It was blue.
People's hands aren't blue, as you know, Harding, unless they're what?
Well, you were the one who said that maybe he brought his daughters back, like for JJ.
No. Was it blue like that? Could it have been a child's hand?
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it was a little small. Yeah.
Yeah, could have easily been a child's hand, Manfred.
Um, what do you say we start by surrounding all of these buildings with our sigil that it can't cross?
Yeah,
We
this
try to
we
lock
may
up
need.
this area.
Yeah, we may need to make a stand here.
Again, my desire to just cover everything with gasoline, throw down a cigar, and run is very strong. I
Why
know it's
don't
not
we
really
just do that?
containment.
Hmm.
We don't know where they're at either. They could be here, they could be out in the woods, they could be out on the lake.
Right. So you guys gonna put the sigils up on the cabins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to move quietly, and we'll go on both sides toward the dining hut, the commissary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm gonna hand out some of the mimeographs, and I'm just gonna stand 2/3 of the way across the circular area with the gun trained on the door of the commissary.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if I see any shells, they're not warm, but I'll see what kind of firearms they're from, and if I can tell what direction they came from, and if they moved in the sand. And
Okay. Yeah. So the shells they look like they came from they're like shotgun shells. So and they're we'll say that's going to be a track to kind of tell, which way they were.
trying to figure out the blood too. I got a 27 was a hard on the nose.
Okay, yeah. Uh, some of them have obviously been like probably accidentally bumped and kicked in whatever was going here, but generally it looks like they were being fired toward the lake. Because maybe when they got ejected, they were kind of landing, in the same way at all. Now, the blood, it's not like when someone would run when they're bleeding, it gets that elongated drop. It's more of probably someone stumbled their way there.
I think we're pretty late, fellas. Uh, sorry, Bernie.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. So it's. I think that the Irish were fending off a battle from the water. Might even have the cultists might have brought a boat out.
So you think we missed the action, Manfred?
Well, I think we missed most of William's comrades because it looks like there was quite a melee here. Nothing for it but to look into the dining hall.
Right.
Seems like it. We might as well sigil around the outside of the dining hall before we
Absolutely.
poking our heads in.
All right. Sounds good. So you approach the dining hall, and before you open the door, we'll pause it here because we're at our 2 hours. Nothing bad happened last time we paused it.
Our flashlights start to flicker.
Exactly.
The dry cells are dying. Our players included Troy Will, Dreyer, Preston Firestone, Morgan Llewellyn, David Gasway, and myself, with Keith Craig as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.